Welcome to this week's Swarf and Chips. The show this week is all about feeding, and I'm not talking breakfast, lunch or dinner, you lot. I am talking about feeding machines. So luckily we are here at Hydrafeed and we're going to be discussing their legendary multi-feed bar feed magazine. We'll also be talking to Martin Page about the past, present and future of the machine and taking a tour around the facility. We'll also be talking about their latest magazine, which is a longer bar feed that complements their current range, and their Robojob, all happening on this week's Swarf and Chips. Gents, as always with you lot, it's about food, feeding, everything.
Isn't it? I can actually smell food cooking as well. There must be a food factory, because
It
we're actually
does,
in Milton
actually.
Keynes, so there's a food factory around here.
It's actually making me hungry.
I know, I'm really hungry
Talking
right
about
now.
foods, did you know, I was told that the onion was the only food that could make you cry, but I don't think that's the case. In fact, I found another one. Do you know what it is?
Oh gosh.
No, but I know a person that will make a bag of onions cry. Is that boring?
The answer to it is a coconut. Because I did this with a friend and I threw a coconut at his face and that made him cry.
The jokes, I'm sure they just get worse and worse. Right, anyway, we're talking about food. We're going to park that because we're talking about feeding the machines, bar feeding, automation. So where do we begin here?
This company, I used to deal with Hydrafeed back in the early noughties, about 2002, 2003. And I was amazed actually from talking to Martin today at how the company really was only established kind of the mid-90s. And when I was selling the bar feeds back then, they were still everywhere. So they really have done a fantastic job. And that was almost, 15 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, I've competed with Hydrafeed over the years, and you do see them everywhere. But I think they're not just a bar feed company, are they? I mean, today is an automation masterclass. You know, they've got the Robojob, they've got the rotor rack, the bar feed, the short bar feed, the long bar feeder now. So it is all about offering an automated solution, and I think that we'll learn a lot today.
The great thing is that you'll see today is that they obviously practice what they preach as well. A lot of the manufacturing is done here, and they're using their own solutions to improve productivity.
And on that note, Colin caught up earlier with Martin and discussed the MSV and Multifeed bar feeds.
Martin, this is, I'd say, bread and butter. You've been going since 1996. You've got your MSV and your multi-feed bar feed range.
That's right, we have. There's two very distinct families within the Hydrafeed range. As you quite rightly say, the MSV is a fully servo model requiring no pneumatics, no shop air whatsoever. There's three models in that particular range: the 110, the 80 and the 65.
Now, I'm assuming that's bar diameter.
All of those numbers reflect the bar diameter, maximum bar diameter that they can feed in. They are all servo. All the information is given through an HMI screen, and they are all automatically self-setting. There's no manual intervention apart from putting the bars on the magazine. Whereas the multi-feed range, which is what we're seeing built here, the electro-pneumatic range is a very good workhorse of a bar feed, but it does need a little bit more manual intervention.
Okay. Now, you say electro-pneumatic, so it's essentially running off an airline.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah, the control systems and the electric box is all in the front, where the control comes from a Mitsubishi PLC. The program is in the bar feed, giving information and signals around the equipment to load bars into a V channel. These ones are in pre-build or just in build, so when they're built there'll be an insert pusher that will feed the bar in. It will then index over and the bar will be fed in up to a turret stop or a position aside of a tool in the machine.
Okay. And it's not often we actually get to see inside these, so thank you for letting us do that. But then bar feed, you'll be loading a big magazine on the back of this?
Yes, this will have a magazine put on the back. These cams will then lift the bar, load it into the V channel. As I said, the V channel will then slide over to the spindle centre line. The bar will be inserted, comes back and feeds the bar into the machine. It is that simple, but as all good things in life, it's simple, but it's very effective and lasts a long while.
Thank you for that, Martin. So why do you think your multi-feeds have been such a success in the MSV?
It's all down to teamwork here, Lyndsey. What we've done over the years is we've tried to maintain a team here so that we could deliver, manufacture, install, hold all the parts here at Milton Keynes, so that if any of our customers want anything to do with any of our products, they make one phone call and everything is here. Many of our staff have been with us for a number of years now, since the inception of the multi-feed. Those people that were installing them in the mid-90s are still here. Product knowledge is immense, and the team has grown around that, and we've maintained that ethos. We always have an engineer waiting for a job rather than somebody waiting for an engineer, and that's what we try and perpetuate.
I like that perspective. But you're expanding, you're getting busier, and so now you've introduced the full length magazine bar feed. So talk us through those.
The full-length magazine bar feed is something which is established, and it's a mature market here in the UK, but Hydrafeed have never been part of. As you quite rightly say, we're known for our short magazine bar feeds, but we've never been in the market to sell full-length type. We were approached last year by a manufacturer of top Automazioni bar feeds in Italy, who make a very good range of bar feeds, and they are the premier supplier of long magazine bar feeds throughout Italy. They approached us, we went over to visit. It's very good equipment, and it has some very, very unique detail to the bar feed, which we think will be able to support and supply into the UK.
What have you got here then, Martin, that you're going to show us, which does make this product a bit different?
One of the unique points, Paul, on the particular range that we're talking about that we have here, is the fact that you don't need to buy additional guide channel sets. Traditional bar feeds that are out there at the moment, the bar is supported in a series of guide channels such as these, which are top and bottom, and they open and close around the bar to give bar support. However, that hole that you're looking at in there has a range. So consequently, if you want to run something which is 10 millimetres or so smaller than the bore of that machine, you have to buy more of those.
And it wouldn't just be one set either, would it? It'd be several sets.
There could be several sets depending upon the range of bar that you wanted to run. Changing that type of equipment is around about 40 minutes. Okay, so on the top bar feed range, there's a series of these that are supported within the bar feed, and they simply open and close under program, and they support the bar, and they will support the bar to a much higher level and be able to change between bar changes in a couple of minutes. So if you do the calculation on that, from 45 minutes to 2 minutes, if a subcontractor is changing twice a day, 90 minutes a day, 90 minutes times 5, he's getting 7.5 hours additional uptime on his spindle, and the cost of not having to buy the...
Is it as well supported using that system?
Absolutely. There's videos online that you can view where it shows the covers up on the bar feed. The bar is running at 4,000 RPM. These bar feeds from top generally weigh around about a ton more than any of our competitors' equipment. And that's not through a mistake, that is through there needing to be a mass in that bar feed to give support, to reduce vibration, to allow machines to have increased spindle times, to get their components off higher quality and in less time.
Now the model that you have behind us here running in demo mode, now this has a bar range of 10 mil to 110 mil, and it's predominantly
100 mil to 100 mil.
To 100 mil, and this is predominantly for fixed head.
Absolutely, fixed head machines, yes. Our business is built on supplying and automating fixed head machinery. When we feel that we are conversant enough and we have again our engineers trained and in front of the product, we will then focus our efforts on the sliding head market. There is a bar feed in their range called the Infinity, which has exactly the same application, big cost savings, but at the moment we are focusing all of our efforts on fixed head machines.
100 mil
100 millimetres, yes.
Wow. Is there many others that can offer that?
There are, yes, but they are substantially bigger, more expensive, and don't have all the innovation in it as standard that this particular product has. Clearly for 100 millimetres, getting the bar into the bar feed becomes an issue. So we would supply the bar feed with floor loading, and the bar would be loaded in front of the machine via a fork truck, and it could then be lifted by the bar feed into the machine.
And are those options available as well for the loading of the bar, the automation side of it too?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And the bar feeds are available as standard in 2, 4, 3 and 6 metre lengths. And we're rather close to achieving a couple of sales on 6 metre length bar feeds with a bundle loader. So all that will happen is the guy will come with a fork truck, load his 2 tons of material in front of the bar feed, and then the bar feed will take over from the rest.
Going back to setup times, Martin, with the new guide channels that are self-adjusting. Now, this is all done from the control system,
Yes,
touchscreen.
small HMI screen in front of the machine.
Effectively, you're setting on the computer. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, if you like. It's a small computer on the front of the machine, which gives you, once you've chosen the bar diameter and what material it is, the bar feed will then take over and decide upon itself to set these guide support bushes and at what torque it pushes, so that the bar feed's level of its own intelligence then takes over.
And what kind of market do you think that there is out there for long bar feeders on fixed head lathes?
That's a good question, Gio, and it's a difficult one to answer because historically we haven't had those customers come to us. But the research that I've done is that it's a growing market. In a year or two, we would hope to be upwards of 50 or 60 per annum and then grow from there, I would hope.
Is it more for the multitasking machines, the twin spindle machines, the larger diameter machines?
The advantage that people are going to gain through having a full-length magazine bar feed, as you quite rightly say, some of the bigger machines, where it's twin spindle, twin turret, if there's expensive tools below the parts, below the point where a traditional bar feed would eject the remnant, with these the remnant needs to be retracted through the back of the bar feed. That's where we'll win on those.
And I think you'll find on the MTD CNC channel there's going to be more detailed videos about the technical capabilities of these.
Right then, let's head over and talk about the Robojob, because Colin caught up with you earlier, didn't he?
He did.
Martin, we found out about bar feeds and things like that, but people think automation, which clearly that is, but it's more about your robot arms when I'm thinking automation. You've got the Robojob. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, of course. As you can see, we like to practice what we preach. We have our own turn assist system here with a 10 kilo robot. So we are running small batches. I think particularly on this one we're doing a 10 off. All the workload for the robot on this particular machine is smaller 10, 20s, 40 size batches. We are not a company that runs huge, great batches. My programmer operators will change this robot 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Big question though, because I'm thinking automation, I've got to make it cost effective, I've got to be running thousands of parts.
Absolutely not at all. This system is a fully integrated system. You simply let Hydrafeed know what you want to run, the batch sizes, and we will recommend the size robot, the application, and everything else will fall into place from us when we come in to integrate it.
I'm going to stop you there quickly because there's no sort of protective cell around here, and this robot's actually working. Now, I'm going to test it.
Okay.
So I've just moved my leg there, so it's slowed down.
So as you can see, the 6 sensor down there has got you. What's happening now is before the robot loads the part, program within the robot, it's blowing the chuck to clear the part. It's now loading the part, having already unloaded the finished part. Okay. So there will always be a finished part waiting. So now if you put your foot in the green area, you will now see that the robot is now running at 25% of its programmed rate. This area can be set, it's all CE spec and the integration is set. If you go into the red area, it will stop it completely.
Okay, quick question. You said 10 kilo robot. Is that
a 10 kilo robot, yeah.
So 2 parts weighing 10 kilos in total or 5 kilos?
10 kilo in maximum. So we're looking at around about 5 kilos per head, because as you can see, that robot there is holding a part ready to be machined whilst one is being machined.
Now, maximum weight though you can do for these robots. So this one,
anything you like really. 20, 50, 75, 150. It just work with us and let us know what the component is, and we will give you a system based upon exactly the same software, the same sensors. They're all FANUC robots, so it's all very good equipment. Whether or not you want the table, whether or not you want to bring your parts in onto a pallet, load from a pallet to a pallet, my team will come and talk to our prospective customers and recommend the right program.
Okay, now this is turning at the moment, but you do robots for turning and milling?
Yes, indeed. Yes, that was really what the attraction was for Hydrafeed. As you said, as we saw earlier, our forte has always been automating turning equipment. Now we have the Robojob agency. We can do both. We can pick billets up to load milling machines as well as turning. So it's a big step for us.
So Martin, obviously showcasing you've got confidence in your own product, but Geo's been out to high spec to see how RoboJob is working for them.
Okay guys, today I'm in Rutland at High Spec Precision Engineering and I'm joined by Darren. Now, Darren, we're going to be discussing productivity gains using automation and in this scenario, the RoboJob from Hydrafeed. What gains have you seen?
The productivity has gone up. We haven't measured any statistics, but it's certainly gone up. The biggest thing I've found personally, because I'm operating the machines as well as running the company, is the freedom it's given me to set other machines whilst this is running. This job in particular is a short cycle, and I would have been trying to load that whilst setting other machines. So it's allowed me to concentrate more on the skilled labour rather than the manual handling and loading.
So previously you would have been running 3 or 4 machines, trying to feed them manually, but now with this automation cell, it's effectively given you time.
Yeah, it's freed up my time considerably, so much so a second investment's been made in another RoboJob, and I can see us having more in the future.
So there are many elements of benefit by automation, and this is yet another. In regards to unmanned running and running overnight, this is something that you're also looking into.
Yeah. Whilst we don't need to, we won't. But it gives us the ability and the capacity to run unmanned on the right jobs and run through the night. We often run through the night on the bar feeders anyway, so there's no reason why this won't do it in time.
And your second RoboJob is not going on a lathe, but a milling machine.
Yeah, it's going on one of the Hercos, so 5-axis Herco.
And you've got a hobby, and it's guitars.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
So it's freeing up your time to do your hobby.
It's allowing a little bit more time on the weekends, certainly, yeah. So can't complain.
No, thank you. Back to you guys.
Wow, a fantastic testimonial. That's what every company wants to hear, and very interesting too. Now, Colin, you learnt a lot, didn't you?
I did. Well, I mean, the very basic one, bar loaders, bar feeders. Two different things. The bar feeders, it comes integral with the machine essentially, whereas obviously bar loader, just loading the bar and it goes into the machine. I know that sounds basic, but light bulb moment for Colin.
Good for you to have a walk around and see actually the automation in action here as well, though.
Well, you think automation, you think robot arms, so we saw the RoboJob, which is a fantastic piece of equipment as well, and that's, again, you're thinking big batch runs. It's not. It's your 10 offs. I mean, they had a whole load of 10 offs, 20 offs and things like that. Absolutely perfect.
And we can smell food. We mentioned earlier, Geo could smell food. Did you bring your lunch today?
Well, Paul, there's something I thought I should bring in today because no one's mentioned it, and you know we do have a princess among us. So, as it's your birthday, Lyndsey, I bought you a special present.
Oh my goodness, thank you. You know what, when I was pregnant, happy birthday to you. Can I tell you a story about this?
No.
Well,
Go on.
Right, when I was pregnant, I was addicted to this stuff. Don't worry, I'm not pregnant at the moment. But I was addicted, and I literally got through probably a third every day. How disgusting.
Oh my God. Can I have a back, please? I want that for breakfast. That's for you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
Yes,
Jim.
no, that's all right. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
thank you. Thank you. I don't know why you've chosen me. I'm speechless. So thank you so much for watching this week's Swarf and Chips. We do have some more detailed videos on the MTD CNC website. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And as we always say, keep those spindles turning. I'm going to have some of this now.